I would like to introduce you to three people who've had a profound influence on the personal branding space. Tom Peters wrote that 1997 article, and he's talked about personal branding after that. These three people have simply focused on personal branding. I've met all three of these people. They're great people and they're very passionate about helping professionals with their personal branding. William Arruda runs a certification program which I went through on personal branding. Dan Schawbel has made a big name for himself. He does what he counsels other people to do to build and develop their own personal brand. It's been fun for me to watch Dan go from working at a large corporate organization to owning a very successful business, all based around personal branding. Kirsten developed a certification program with William and is a great thinker on personal branding. Talking about the whole niche idea, what have these three done? Well, when I think about these three personal branding influencers, William is the person who caters to corporations. William makes a lot of money speaking at company events and training executives within an organization. I'm guessing the company usually pays his bills. If you read through his client list, there are a lot of really big and well-known companies that he's serviced. Dan, on the other hand, has niched himself as a Gen Y or a millennial expert. He talks about job search and networking and career management, but the way he's branded himself is a personal branding expert for the rising generation. This is the group who a few years ago, when the economy was good, knew they were going to walk out of school and get amazing jobs. Over the last few years with the bad economy, they're walking out of school and going back to live with their parents. Dan has taken the role of being their voice. He helps other generations understand Gen Y, and he helps Gen Y understand themselves and develop strategies to move forward in their career. Kirsten's niche is to work with entrepreneurs. This is an audience that's very different than William and Dan. They all talk about the same things, principles, strategies, tactics. But Kirsten says, hey, if you're an entrepreneur, you need to work with me because I am you. I understand you. I work with entrepreneurs and I know what you're dealing with now and what you'll deal with in the future. Can you see how powerful it is for these three people to go from being generalist personal branding experts or influencers and identifying that exact audience that they want to work with? Now, if Kirsten had a corporate client come to her and want to pay her tens of thousands of dollars to speak and consult and things like that, I'm guessing she would take the gig. As I mentioned earlier, she's not saying no to people outside of her niche. But identifying what her niche is makes it a lot easier for entrepreneurs to say, am I going to work with William or Dan or Kirsten? Well, Kirsten is obviously the person for me. We'll come back to these three in a little bit.